Arts Engagement for Livable Communities project came out of a collaboration that I was doing with the Art Gallery of New South Wales and Danielle Galotta. We were looking at the importance of arts engagement programs for well-being. How do you use the resources of a gallery like the Art Gallery of New South Wales and reach out further into the community?
Best show in town. You've got to be here for this one. We're going to see some still lifes today. So we're going to, 20th century Australia. And then we're going to do some printing.
What we found that the Arts Access programme provided opportunities for normalcy for people, in that they were able to come to the gallery, talk about things other than the fact that they had dementia.
Each of us sees the world in different ways depending on our own experiences.
Really, they're accessible to anybody. You don't need to have an understanding of art, you don't need to have prior experience. You can come in, look at the artworks and really take something away from it which is personal and important to you.
So your idea of what you perceive to be what should be right, should be correct, is not necessary.
So the Art Gallery of New South Wales has been running a creative ageing art and dementia program for 8 years. The artwork is the star of the program, but likewise it's the individuals in the program who were there to meet one another, to discuss, to have a laugh, and most importantly to feel connected with each other, with art and with their own future.
But you can see the way she applies her paint, and what's really important with Grace Cossington-Smith is that she applies her paint very fresh.
The family members often come and it's an experience to get out of the house, to be in a role that's not a carer for a couple of hours, to enjoy the artworks themselves.
What do you think, John? What do you think those materials might have been used for?
But also to enjoy the person that they're with, their partner or the person they're caring for, to see them enjoying the artwork and having an experience that is fun and social. It's very much about connecting people through stories, through looking, through shared experiences and through talking.
But then I've got this funny shape. How do I make that shape? What do I do? As they hit the ground, what would happen to the spices?
So sometimes for people, if they're restless and they're not able to sit down and relax, sometimes simply having a pen or a pencil or drawing or writing can relax them and they start thinking about what they're doing with their hands. And in that way, it sort of breaks those behaviours of fidgeting and restlessness and discomfort. And I think that's a really important aspect of what we're doing.
So we're going to go upstairs now to the restaurant function space and do some art making ourselves in response to what we were looking at. Okay?
The engagement with our artist educators, we hope that it's not a formal art lesson. What we are promoting is a collaboration, a sharing, a discussion with an artist, but very much so it's an open-ended creative experience.
But I guess rather than painting kind of vases or glasses, she's painting kind of consumerist stuff, like deodorant bottles and things that often are a bit humorous.
In the art making activities, we often see people are able to do more than their carers and family members expect that they can do. And we had a gentleman who picked up a pencil and started writing, and his partner was telling us that was the first time he'd written in a long, long time. So he wrote his own name, he wrote her name, and then went on to write the names of his daughters. So that was quite an important moment for all of us.
This was at Darwin, Tony, that we saw that.
In Space Makers and Room Shakers, the scale was grand and overwhelming.
And around to the right there, Len.
Now I wanted to start climbing, so...
Yeah, I know.
So people had the opportunity to move through the exhibitions with their body, so a bodily reading of the works.
What about my other special friend here?
Which is very different to sitting in front of an oil painting.
And towering.
Yeah. Did you hear that, John? Olive? Sue just said she thinks it's quite sinister because of the black the blackness of it.
The Kathy Temin work, we don't really know what it is when we first walk in. It's overpowering. It's a work that invites you to go up close to it, to imagine what it would be like to be surrounded in that forest.
Very comforting to touch it, isn't it? You want to touch it. You want to touch it. You must.
Sometimes people will make a piece of art. They might be involved in drawing or painting. You can see that it promotes their self-esteem, the sense that they've been able to make something, they've been able to do something, and that's very important. It's not about teaching people how to make art. It's about sitting alongside, coaching. It's about working together. It's about engaging in a practice. And in the days when they're not at the gallery, how can they do that at home and have something to do and something to occupy them in their own time?
I can't speak for other people, but I felt a bit awkward at the start.
With the making, or?
It was a long time since I'd done that, you know, almost a lifetime, you might say, and felt a bit self-conscious about that. I'm used to it now.
The piece by Nikki Savas, it's a type of work that stimulates curiosity.
Just imagine, Joe, it's a landscape. Isn't it beautiful?
Whilst there's not a cure, people can still have a good quality of life. So it's not just improving the quality of life of the person who may have dementia, but certainly it also impacts on the quality of life of carers who just for a few hours can sit alongside their partner and be a partner again and enjoy and share moments of connection.
As part of art making, we always include time for a group viewing experience, and in that we reflect on the work that's been made. There's often a lot of whimsical discussion and laughter.
Fun is sun. Either of it. Yeah. Oh, this is what I was curious about. My desire, our home to come. Yeah. So is this your home, your dream home, is it? No,
that as we've gone out into the community, we recognise that there's a high demand for this, that people really do want to look at artwork and talk about artwork. So for the future, what we're looking to do is to connect with more regional galleries, with more community centres, with individuals, and find ways that we can take arts engagement, art making, further out into the communities.
I'd love to wake up here in the mornings and pull the curtain across and say, "Hello world, here we are, come and see the art gallery."